2012 was a year when trade negotiations acted as a prominent part of international discourse. We've had developments in the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the potential for a trade bloc or free trade area between the European Union and the USA, and also discussions between the European Union and Latin America on ways to increase trade between the two regions. So as a result of this, what we've seen is Mercosur, a trade bloc in Latin America, increasing its prominence and increasing its voice on the world stage. Mercosur is a trade bloc that includes Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, and as of 2012, Venezuela and Bolivia as its members. The members now account for 77.8% of the total output of the South American region, and with its associate members, Colombia, Chile, Ecuador and Peru, meaning that in the near future there is a potential for the entire South American region to act as a single trade bloc. So trade is fundamental to the economic performance of Latin America, in large part due to the high levels of raw materials and natural resources in the region. Trade between Latin America and the industrializing Asia Pacific, but also the developed world, has been quite significant. On top of this, however, consumer expenditure and the consumer markets in Latin America are growing significantly, leading to higher levels of imports. Between 2009 and 2012, exports from Latin America to the rest of the world increased at a faster rate than Asia-Pacific exports. On top of this, consumer expenditure in Latin America also increased faster than that in Asia-Pacific. Perhaps more interestingly, in 2012, consumers in Latin America outspent those in the Asia-Pacific in a per capita terms by 2.2 times to 1. On top of this, as I mentioned, there is an abundance of natural resources and raw materials in the Latin American region. This ranges from agriculture. For example, Mercosur members account for 51.7% of the world's total soybean production, but also due to abundances of energy resources, including high levels of crude oil reserves in Venezuela. Now, what this means in the medium term is, and as we move into a period of commodity scarcity, the importance of the resources in many of these countries will increase. So the agreement spans trade, but has also evolved to include more integrative policies within or between the countries, moving the model towards a European Union-style trading bloc rather than a simple free trade area. These policies have included debt relief, but also collaborative negotiations with outside entities that have increased the bargaining power of the Latin American countries and the members of the Mercosur movement. Though the rising strength of Mercosur as both an importer of consumer goods as well as an exporter of raw materials is increasing the influence they have on the world stage, there's an increase in protectionism within certain countries in the trade bloc. Now, this began in Argentina in 2011 and 2012, but protectionism has now spread to Brazil. So this trend risks reducing the unity within the Mercosur trade bloc, impacting the medium-term outlook for trade within the region. However, given the high level of demand for commodity goods available from Latin America, the prospects for trade in the region remain relatively strong in the medium term.